Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I have a little kind of behind the scenes video, something a bit different from the usual content on this channel. I am upgrading to dual 4K 144 hertz monitors. You'll notice here that this one on the right is different size than that one, and that's actually a different size than that one. And that's because I've already switched out one of my monitors. My old 27 inch is laying down there. But today, my second 32-inch monitor is coming in and I need to replace that one. So in this video, I'm going to be replacing that monitor, talking about which monitors I got, because just a hint, that monitor is $280 and it is a 4K 144 hertz monitor. So insane deal, and that's why I decided to upgrade. And also, you'll notice that my PC is now underneath my desk. That's new too. Partly because with these 32-inch monitors, I was not going to have room to leave it right there. So now I've just got my nice little solo miners over here, which is fun to look at while I'm sitting here working. Today's video is sponsored by Crypto Miner Bros, a reliable and highly trusted ASIC miner reseller. There are a couple huge benefits to buying from Crypto Miner Bros. The first is that the price on their website is the all-in price shipped to your door, no hidden fees. The second is that they have a massive selection of all the popular miners. My current favorite miner is the DG Home 1, which I got from Crypto Miner Bros. Don't forget to use code MODERN for $70 off each item regardless of price. Purchasing ASIC miners can be risky with tons of scams going around. Why not make it easy with Crypto Miner Bros? Check them out today with the link down below. So sorry for the dark video, but the other thing that's going on is now that I'm gonna have dual 4K monitors, I need a better GPU. So I'm currently using a 3080, and that's what I've used since basically 2021, 2020 timeframe, the last time I was mining Ethereum. And I think it's finally time to upgrade. So what we're also going to be doing this video is I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace who's willing to trade a 5070 GPU for a 3080 and a 3070. So I'm going to be taking my 3080 out of my PC and then taking a For the Win 3070 off of my mining rig and going and doing that trade with the guy on Facebook, and you're going to see all that in this video as well. So what's up next? Well, that second monitor gets here today. First, let's discuss what the monitor even is, and then let's start prepping my desk to make that upgrade. All right, guys, so real quickly, that monitor is the ARZOPA 32-inch 144 hertz. Like I mentioned, it is currently $280 on Amazon. It is on sale, but even if it wasn't, I think I got this one for actually the $300 price. That is an insane deal. I remember a couple years ago when a monitor that was 4K 144 hertz would be like 800 bucks, and the fact that you can get it for under 300 is actually insane. I didn't have any plans to upgrade my monitors until I saw this deal, and I just had to bite on it. So I used to have 27-inch 1440p monitors, and that's what this one is, but I'm switching both to the 32 inches. Now you'll wonder what the heck this is over here. I have a second YouTube channel, guys, Modern Reviews. This is definitely low effort kind of content, just reviewing Amazon stuff and stuff like that. But I did make a review for this monitor, so if anyone is interested, I will have a link to that review down below. And I'll also link this monitor down below. It is an affiliate link, but believe me, guys, this is pretty sweet monitor. So it is a no-name brand, but the panel is nice, and so far in my testing, I haven't had any issues with it. Granted, I am the only one who's done a review on it, so take that for what you will, but so far, I'm really liking it. Okay, so enough on the panel. Jack, what the heck are you talking about that you need to rearrange your desk to make this fit? Well, shortly, within an hour or two, my second one gets here, and I need to switch up my recording setup. So if you'll notice, this light right here used to be like behind my 27-inch monitor, but the issue is these are so big, they have to go back, and what that means is I can no longer fit that clamp on desk light back here because this arm is parallel to the wall. So that means it has to be basically to outside of the length of this monitor. So that's fine for this light. This is just the side light, but this one, this is my primary recording setup. So this holds my phone when I film, and this is in another light. Both of these clamp onto the desk. So I need to kind of wait until this monitor gets here to see what this is going to look like. But I think I'm going to have to either move these or get a tripod to start filming from the center there. It's going to be a big change, but I would like to keep this kind of where it is. Now, one thing I could do is, you'll notice that there might be room like in this general area if I had the poles coming up through there. But I'm gonna have to probably extend this table so that these things can clamp on back here. So this table is like 6 inches from the wall right now because of how big these monitors are. So I might have to like use construction adhesive to put a 2x4 right here so that these can clamp further on back. So that's what I mean when I say that I need to mess with my desk to get these to actually fit. And I guess I'm not gonna do that until I get that in and we can see what actually happens. But so let's wait till this monitor comes in. We'll get it up on the frame and see what comes next. All right, guys, the monitor has arrived. Let's go ahead and get this bag off of it here. One thing we need to do, I guess, first is take this monitor off. And I'll do that here in a second. If you want to see the unboxing of this thing, check out that review video I got linked in the description. I already did all that in that video, so I'm not going to do it again. Now, before we take the other one off, I will show you, you have to put standoffs on the back here for this to be VESA mountable. And luckily those do just come directly into the bag. I was actually on my first monitor on the way to Home Depot to get longer screws when I was literally halfway there and I remembered, oh yeah, there were standoffs in that package. I bet those are for the VESA mount, and sure enough, that is what they're for. So let's get these installed and then we'll get that monitor pulled off. This cable arm had like things to hide the cables, and I never could figure out how to get it off on the other one, so I just ended up breaking them off. It's hidden anywhere, so not the end of the world, but I thought that was funny. Okay, this is ready to, I might have to see if I can move this one further out of the way so that I can rotate this one out. There we go. And before I even do that, I'm probably going to take these off here so I just am not messing with them. Take that off, toss it over there. Same with this one. So these monitors are going to go to work with me. Basically just going to upgrade my work ones, and if anything ever happens, I'll just take them back home with me, but it'll probably be at my current job for a long time to come. All right, now adding these back on there, or adding this on there by myself is not easy, but I can like hold this down and kind of get it like that. So let's try to do that. Yeah, something like that. Okay, nice. We got it on there. Okay. Not too bad. Need to go get a hex key to tighten up the stiffener right here so that this can actually support this monitor. It's like right on the threshold right now where it's not strong enough, so I'm gonna go do that right now. It's becoming an absolute rat's nest of cables down here. I am moving out of this office in not too long, so that's why this looks as bad as it does. But okay, we're all plugged in. Let's turn it on. That looks good. One thing I did on the other one is I bumped up the brightness all the way. Oops, that's off button. Peel this off too. All right, turning the brightness up. So how does that look? I think that actually looks pretty dang good. Definitely got a wide expanse here, but they do fit. Let's see if I'm gonna be able to put my video sticks, my light and all that, if I'm gonna be able to put them back there. Let's figure that out. All right, so it's kind of like I feared, so these things, keep in mind, clamp right onto here. This is totally blocking that all the way across, but if I extend it out to the wall, I do have room. So I think I need to get a 2x4, some clamps, clamp it onto here so that then I can clamp the light things like right up against the wall right there. This desk is a piece of junk anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. So let's go get the construction adhesive in a 2x4. All right, so I'd like to make sure that my clamps are even going to reach that long. So if I have this, like, damn, I don't know if that is even going to be long enough. I almost need to do it like this, but I definitely don't have anything that can clamp it like this. All right, this is getting a little bit more complicated than I wanted, but that's all right. This needs to be correct because this is what holds my camera for basically all of my YouTube videos. So what's the plan? This is what's going to get, I'm actually going to screw down through the desk into this board, and then this board is going to be attached like that. The light and the phone mount are going to clamp onto here and come up. And on the underside, to hold these two boards together, I'm going to have this nailed in together. So this board will be going under the desk 1 1/8. So I need to mark that right here because I don't want the board that's holding these together to impact that. So this one, oh, that's totally fine. I can just have it directly in the middle there like that. Screw, 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 hold those together, and then screw this into the desk. So we got our big old deck screws here. Put our special bit on, and let's secure these 3 pieces together. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to use these exact same screws to just screw directly into that desk, and boom, this is going to attach. Probably should have put the painted side down. That's going to look pretty ugly, but I can always paint it later or something. Okay, got it all hooked up right there. Let's get the monitor out of the way, keep that safe. Actually, I need to mark again where I want this thing to go. Basically centered on the logo. Okay. All right, pretty damn sturdy. Let's see if we can fit our clamp things on there now. Nope, that's gonna work good. Awesome. This is so ridiculous I'm having to do this. Okay. Now let's get the other one on there and we should be good. Definitely probably be worth it to have a legit setup at this point so I didn't have to jerry rig all this stuff. Okay. I'm gonna put one more nail in that. Maybe even 2 more just so it's extra sturdy. Okay, that ain't going anywhere. All right, guys, so there's the finished setup. Took a lot of effort to do, but luckily that is gonna work. So I got my camera mount up, my light up. That doesn't look too bad, honestly. Maybe even set this on there. Hey, look at that, now it looks even better. So I'm gonna get this all cleaned up, test that out, make sure it works, and then I will see you guys in the morning. We're gonna pull that 3080, grab the 3070, and get a 5070. Pretty excited. Alrighty guys, it's the next morning. Let's try to get this GPU out of here. I always struggle in this motherboard to actually flip down the PCIe little clip thing. So this is probably going to be a bit of a hassle, but we'll see. Set this out of the way. I'm curious if this 5070 will be bigger than this GPU or about the same size. Sag bracket out, and now we gotta try to flip that freaking switch. Alright, well I just straight popped it off. I actually did that on my test bench the other day, and I think I like it much better like that anyway. Not a fan of that thing at all, so. GPU appears totally fine. Give this thing a quick dust downstairs and then hopefully get it to its new home. And then this is the other GPU, a 3070 for the Win 3. I was testing this on my test bench. Gotta get my other hand. Here they are. Let me know if you guys would make this trade. So a 3080 plus a 3070 for a 5070. Is that something you would do? To me, it seems like a pretty good deal since I'm trying to sell this 3070 anyway. And if I'm upgrading my main PC, I want to sell my 3080 as well. So let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, we finally got the 5070 here. It's actually skinnier than I thought it would be. This is what it looks like. Got the one power pin right there. Get this plugged up and see how it looks. All right guys, it's been a few days, and as you can tell, that GPU is not a 5070. So what happened? I'm gonna sit down and give you guys a little bit of story time right now. So I did get that 5070, I filmed the clip, and then like right after I filmed that clip, before I even plugged the GPU in, I got a message from the guy I made the trade with, and he was saying that the 3070 I had given him was artifacting. And I thought that was weird because I had just tested it. Now granted, I didn't test all the ports on it, and I didn't test it for like a long period of time. I just kind of ran a firmware test on it, saw that it was good to go, and then boxed it up and brought it to him. So I thought that was weird, but he did send me a video showing that it was flashing lines on the screen. So what ended up happening was we actually met back up and swapped back GPUs, and everything was fine there. My cards were still in the same condition I got them. But I did go ahead and plug that 3070 in my test bench and did some additional testing, tested all the ports, and I was not able to recreate what was going on. The lines across the screen, the artifacting that he said he had seen, which is super weird because I wanted to sell that GPU to someone else, but if there's an issue with it, obviously I'm not gonna do that. And I was going through the process of cleaning and testing some other 3070s to sell when I was able to duplicate that issue. And I'll throw a video of what that issue looked like up on screen, the video he sent me. And I figured out what it was thanks to the help of Crootman. I gave him a call. He's like a GPU guru, knows everything about them. And he said that is probably a dirty port. And on the one that I tested that I was able to recreate, all I did was just re-plug in that connector like 5 or 6 times to basically wipe off any corrosion on the display port, actual contacts themselves. And sure enough, that artifacting slash lines went away when I did that. And I also had some additional 3070s that the ports wouldn't work at all. So maybe out of the 4 ports, 1 wouldn't display when I plugged it in. And for every single card, I would just plug it in 5, 6 times, wipe away any corrosion on the contacts, and boom, they would work totally fine. So the good news is I got my cards back and they're not damaged. They're not actually artifacting. The guy was mistaken. But the bad news is I didn't get the 3070. But as you just saw, I did end up getting a 9070 XT instead, which is actually a better card. Granted, I paid $800 for it, which is only slightly over Best Buy's price, so really not horrible, especially if I can sell my 3080 for like 400 bucks, then I'm only out like $400. So I'm pretty happy with that. This is my first AMD GPU in my main PC, maybe ever. So we'll have to see how that goes. So far, I haven't had any issues. I've obviously got it hooked up with the setup here and everything is looking very good. So that is the story. I had a 5070 and then I didn't, but I ended up with a 9070 XT instead, and so far I'm been pretty happy with it, and it is technically a better card than the 5070. So let me show you the finished product back here, and then that'll wrap this one up. Here is the final setup. It is much, much cleaner. I actually really like having the PC underneath the desk. It opens up so much area on the left side it didn't have. I am either going to be cleaning this mouse pad or getting a leather one, so ignore that for now. But speaking of the monitors, they have been great. I've been using them for a few days now, no issues at all. I've got my little extender right here that has my light clamped on it, and then my phone holder right there. Got my Bitcoin merch solo miner running right here. I think that looks pretty cool. And then my favorite thing I've done here is I've got all my USBs on these little magnetic like cable holders. So it's easy access even though the PC is underneath the desk. So this is a USB extender. So if I ever need to plug a USB into the computer, I just plug it in right there. Got my USB-C to plug in and upload videos from my phone. This is the microphone cable from this mic. So this is what I use to plug it into my phone, but I can also just plug this into here to plug it into the PC. Got my mic clamped over here, extends plenty far. So overall the setup is awesome. The one last thing that I am gonna get, because I still have to reach under here to hit the power button every time, is I'm gonna get like a little power button extender so I can just hit a button right here and turn the PC off and on like that. So overall, setup turned out good. I got a new GPU. I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Peace.